Hey guys, Cameron here with Emerson House Buyers. Every week I bring you tools, tactics, strategies, lessons I've learned, things that have helped me build up a sizable loan portfolio in about 2 years. Today I want to talk about LLCs. So I got a question from Alex. Did you start an LLC in the state of Texas? If so, did you do it yourself or hire a firm? So Alex, appreciate the question. There's a couple things I want to cover here. So I have another older video on LLCs, and I want to reiterate a couple points from that and then answer your question. So one thing is, don't worry if you're just starting out. Don't worry about everything, making sure the whole structure is right. This is my philosophy. This is not legal advice, but I did not set up everything into LLCs. I had one LLC and really didn't need that. If you run everything out of one account, you can keep track of everything that way, but it was more for just accounting purposes, just to have everything in one account. But the odds of something happening are so small. It's just like buying insurance, but people want to set up a structure and spend thousands and thousands of dollars when they don't even have a deal yet. They haven't even done one deal, and they want to spend $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 on this unbelievable structure. So just be cognizant of that. Don't spend. It's like the people who go out and buy business cards and have the nicest business cards, and they go and they're walking around, they're handing people business cards, and they've never done any business. And then they have the nicest planner and all this stuff, but they haven't actually went out and made sales. So be cognizant of that. Don't get too caught up in this. To answer your question though, yes, I did set up an LLC. I just did it straight through LegalZoom. They handled a lot of that. It was $400 or $500. Like I said, if I was doing it again today, I'd probably just set it up in another account, because if you're buying rental properties, they pass through onto your personal return anyways. So it's not like you need to set up an LLC for tax purposes. Now, liability is different, and one thing I will cover is, or will mention is, your LLC protects things from the LLC coming to you personally. So if you do if a tenant does something on the property, or something happens on the property and they want to sue you, you're protected by assuming that you have followed all the rules and there's no commingling of funds, which is probably the most common thing that happens that gets the entity dismissed, or pierces the veil is what they say. Because if you start commingling personal and business funds, then they say that it's not, the LLC is not a legitimate business. So that's why I said if you separate an account, that is enough to kind of protect you in saying this is a separate business. The other big thing is an LLC protects you from issues happening in the LLC and coming up to you, but it doesn't protect you from getting into the LLC. And what I mean by that is, if you get in a car accident and are sued, let's say for whatever reason, your personal assets in that LLC are available for that lawsuit. So Cameron gets in an accident, hurts somebody, they can go into the House Buyers LLC and get what's in there. So you got to look at it as two sides, right? You to the business to you. Again, if you're just starting out, get a couple deals under your belt before. That's my recommendation. Now, take it for what it's worth. I'm not an attorney, but that is what I would do if I was starting out again. And I didn't actually set up a full entity structure until I had several properties. I had over 15 properties before I actually set up a full LLC structure. So to answer your question now on that, yeah, I would. I did set up in the state of Texas. And then just to show you one thing on rental properties, we have, some people will say you want to set up an LLC for each property. I don't believe that. Whatever risk you have now, if it's $1 million property, you probably want to, but I have multiple houses in one LLC. Okay. Those are houses. Sorry if it's a little small. But I have multiple houses in one LLC. These are LLCs. This is what you can do when you buy a rental portfolio. You don't have to do this. This is something that I do. I was advised to do. And then these LLCs are owned by another LLC, this holding LLC. Okay? And then there's you or me. Okay? So we own the holding owns the LLCs hold the properties. That's my structure. Now, how many properties do you want to put in here? It's totally up to you. It's total preference. It doesn't matter. You don't have to have one property per LLC. You don't have to have 10. This is for buy and hold. If you're looking at wholesaling or investing and flipping, this entity structure might not be a fit for you. I don't even know if it's a fit for you now where you're at and state-wise, but this is my current structure, what I have set up this year and finally implemented. Well, it was late last year, early 2019. So we're finally in something like this where things that I do, again, risk from the properties. You have risk from the property and risk from yourself. You have to protect both sides. So if I do something stupid, they can't get to the properties. If the properties do something happens to the property, they can't get out of the LLC. They stop this LLC, it's contained in here, right? If they do break it, it would get to the holding company, but it does not ever get to me. You know, it would stop, if this came in, it would stop here and vice versa. This would stop here. They cannot get to me, to the properties, or from the properties to me. So I don't know if that was exactly what you were looking for, Alex, but that should answer all your questions. And again, this is different for every single person. So I hope that, you know, if you're looking at a rental portfolio, this is what I would advise. This is what I've set up. So take it for what it's worth. I'm not an attorney, but I did some research, and this is what I thought would be the best. So hope that was helpful. If it was, let me know. If it wasn't, let me know. And I appreciate the question, Alex. Thanks for being a subscriber. I'll talk to you guys next week.